following program on Derana 24 is classified for general audience. It is intended for all ages. It contains little or no violence, no strong language, and little or no sexual dialogue or situations. We would like to remind our viewers that the views expressed in this program by our participating guests are solely viewpoints of them who take part, and does not reflect the views and beliefs of the Derana Media Network.
Welcome down to Gen XYZ right here on Derana 24. Well, in case you're a youth member, if you are definitely having concerns with regards to how you look, how you seem, especially in society, body image is a big problem, especially amongst the youth of Sri Lanka. And that is exactly why we brought to you a solution, the nitty-gritty that you need to know, especially from a professional. We're talking to Amra Fazy, who is a cosmetologist, and she knows everything that we need to know. We're going to ask her today. So thank you so much for joining us today on Gen XYZ. Well,
Hi.
First and foremost, I have to tell you, obviously it's a great thing that you've chosen a great career.
Yeah.
You're helping so many people as well, and I know for sure a lot of the youth members are the main base of your customer base, right?
That's right, yeah.
So, talking in the lines of body image, what according to you is a standard of beauty, is a standard of what an ideal body should look like?
I think an ideal body should look healthy. So these days, especially the youngsters, adolescents, they have this wrong perception that when it comes to body image, they should be skinny, they should be white, and they just don't think twice about how they're going to feel later on in life. So I think that idealistic thought about being skinny and white should be eliminated, and they should be concentrating on being healthy in the long term.
Right.
Yeah.
What is being healthy? Because, I mean, you could be a plus-size person but still be healthy. You could be a very skinny person but still be healthy. You can be a rigid, good-looking person, with muscles all over, but still be healthy. What is healthy?
So healthy, it actually begins at home. It's how your parents are a role model in you making healthy choices. See, when you make healthy choices, then you get used to it, your body adapts to it, and then you don't actually deprive yourself of, like say, the other enjoyment or anything like that. You just make healthy choices and that becomes your life. And like you said, yes, I agree. You can be thin and healthy, you can be a bit overweight and healthy. So it depends. As long as you're healthy, you can choose how your body is going to look. Is it going to be skinny healthy or is it going to be fat healthy? Obviously not obese. Yeah.
I mean, see, the problem there is, I feel like, you could be obese because of a certain knack. It could be depression, it could be so many other things as well.
Yes.
So how do you find the balance of really knowing, okay, this is the choice I should make in order to remain and maintain being healthy?
Exactly. So all of us, we have some kind of condition. See, we can be skinny healthy and yet a bit fat on the fat side and healthy, but maybe we have some health condition, or we may be having like a slow metabolism. So according to our body, you have to understand our body and then make the healthy choices accordingly. For example, a diabetic patient would not be able to be consuming the same amount of food that a normal person would do, even though it's healthy. So they have to make wise choices after visiting their doctor, and they have to make choices according to the condition of the body. For example, if you have some skin condition, then like say an obese person will also have acne in their face. So again, that's coming down to how they made like say the wrong choices in food, and also genetics as well. So I would say understand your body, and then according to that, make the healthy choices.
Right. And understanding your body is also a very complex situation, right? Because we take Sri Lanka, especially amongst the youth, we're not very well versed with knowing exactly the medical terminologies, the medical jargons of, okay, this is the thing, why I'm actually going through this. This is why I have so much acne. This is why I no matter how much I, reduce and starve myself, I look fat, I am gaining weight.
Yes.
How do you really find that, and how do you navigate that?
Well, according to you, I mean, when you say medical terminologies and jargons, I beg to differ, because these days the youngsters are so well acquainted with all the terms. Like, it's like we have to learn from them, because they are always on social media. They are looking at, okay, they are all, say, they know what's going on a daily basis, the developments and all that. So I would say we can, like, with all that information that they have, we should be able to guide them. So again, it comes down to what suits them. So most of us, we can blame everything on genetics. But these days, genetics, even though genetically you inherit certain type of body image, we can always make healthy choices and change that according to, like, say, you make certain small changes and go for developments. And that is how you maintain your body image according to what you want. So end of the day, widely accepted body image, and what do you want? Skinny healthy, or is it going to be like slightly obese healthy? So you can make that decision later. But the base should be you be healthy.
To be healthy,
Yeah.
okay. I still feel like the aspect of healthiness is not communicated accurately.
Right.
What is it to be healthy? Because is it in terms of nutrition, or is it in terms of, you know, working out, or is it an amalgamation of all of it?
Right. So you have to make a consolidated approach when it comes to health. Starvation should be completely eliminated, which I'm
Okay.
sure is generally like 80 to 90% of us. In order to maintain a skinny body, zero size, we just starve ourselves, and later on we just realize, okay, so this is what we've missed when we were young. So I would say that you eliminate the concept of starvation, and then, so it was about the body image, right? Yes. Yeah, and then again, like, say, what was the question again you said?
So about body image,
Yeah.
basically, what is it to be healthy? Is it...
That's right. So first step, now say if I get clients who are obese, and if I tell them you need to go on a diet, the moment I use the word diet, his or her cortisol levels are just going to go up, and they're going to gain more weight even though they starve themselves. So what am I going to tell
stress,
them?
you're basically...
That's stress.
Wow, so
The
you
stress
gain weight through stress.
Of course. You could not be eating for 2 days, but then your cortisol levels are going to go up, and then you're going to feel like, okay, I've gained weight. Guess what? I've gained weight. I've not lost even a bit.
Okay.
So we should make sure that we are satiated, we are satisfied, we are happy, so that we maintain very low cortisol levels. And then again, you know, it becomes like a lifestyle. So what I would say is, like, say, when you make if you want to maintain that body image, you should find something which will address the root cause, plus it should be something that you can follow on a daily basis, like a lifestyle. Then only it becomes convenient, and you're like satisfied, and you can be, like, say, your day-to-day life is not a challenge. It's going to be like, say, the way of living.
And that would obviously eradicate, you know, future illnesses as well, I believe.
I was gonna tell you, like, if a client comes, what I would just to make sure the cortisol doesn't goes up, I would tell, why don't you cut down on sugar first? Just do it for 1 week and let me know how it goes. Don't do anything. Eat as much as you want. Then they're like, okay, I can do that. I can do that. And then they feel the difference. Like, in a week, they're fully, like, almost like detoxified, no sugar challenge. And they themselves want to know, okay, now what next? Now that's a better approach, I would say. Instead of, like, you know, giving them go on a diet. That word diet also, like, it's so, like, it should be fully eliminated from this whole body image, you know,
aspect of
criteria.
things.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I would say.
That's very interesting that you mentioned in terms of cutting down sugar. You know, I feel like a lot of the youth especially, right, we're all addicted to sugar. That's something we cannot get rid of.
That's right.
It's also inbuilt in us because we're so addicted to it, right? When we cut it off maybe for like a day or two, we can't. We need it instantaneously. It's like a craving. So how do you get rid of that as well? Because I think sugar is the #1 culprit, if you put it, for, you know, damaging body images as well.
Sugar is your enemy for, like, every aspect of your life. Like, say, you don't need it at all, you know, you just don't need it. Maybe you can go for sugar substitutes. Like, you know, you can eat enough of fruits. You can go for, like, honey, or not overdo it, obviously, but you can go for some substitutes where you don't fully feel like, oh, I'm without sugar and I'm gonna, you know, I feel so sad about it. So if you just go for, like, substitutes, and also, like, you can up your game with your fruits, then I think you should be fine. Then the cravings also reduce. Yeah, the cravings also reduce. So you can, for example, if I tell them, okay, you don't have to eat sugar, but you can eat any amount of fruits you want. Just go for it, any amount. And they'll be like, okay, now how do I do that? So when they try it, then they feel like, okay, it's the same as sugar, but now they are more satisfied and fuller.
Because I feel like fruits as well, it's very interesting. I think there is something called sucrose as well that increases in your body when you consume too much fruit.
Right.
So isn't that in effect as well? Because it's the same effect.
Patients, yes.
Yeah.
So certain foods, they have a very high sugar content. So again, the wise choices. So fruits like watermelon, I would say green apple with a lot of fiber, and of course papaya. So those kind of fruits have so much of benefits, and berries. So I would like limit on bananas and mangoes, obviously, as tasty as they may be, and satiating as well, but still I would not overdo on those. It's like a cheat meal, fruit cheat meal.
So bananas is not recommended?
Well, don't overdo it. If you are hitting the gym, just before going to the gym, you can just grab a banana as your pre. But other than that, I wouldn't overdo it,
Okay.
But it's loaded with antioxidants, vitamins and minerals. It's almost like a meal replacement. So if you want to lose weight, or if you want to maintain, like say, a minor size, then I wouldn't go for it on a daily basis. It's like a cheat fruit meal.
Cheat fruit meal.
Even fruits also have cheat meals.
Yeah. But see, I feel like the problem that we have in Sri Lanka as well, right? We're very rich in terms of amazing vegetables that we have. It's very organic. Fruits as well, very organic and so much more. It's not, filled with pesticides and so much more, which is very effective for your liver, you name it, right? For your organs.
Yeah.
But the problem is we're also very much inclined to love our rice and curry. We love our rice and curry, and we consume a lot of rice and curry. So how do we sort of navigate and say, okay, this is the good kind of fruit and vegetable that we need to consume on a daily, maybe have a lot of vegetables, a lot of meat maybe, and less carbs and so much more. So how do you navigate that? What are the best options?
The best options would be, again, like say, each one of us have different goals, right? But all of us, we have to follow a balanced diet. What we learned in grade 3, 4, in science, they always said, eat a balanced diet. So I say, based on a balanced diet, you can start it off. But still, if you have other goals, like I want to lose this month, it's a cutting month, or I want to build this month, or, people have goals. So according to that, you can improvise. But basic, you should have a balanced diet. So to make sure that you get the adequate nutrients. And then if you have a balanced diet, then you get a little bit of everything, and then you can function normally, and you can make sure that you are not deprived of anything which is really, necessary for your body, even when it's on survival mode. Yeah.
Amra, can you tell us exactly what kind of fruits and vegetables we need to consume on a daily basis?
Yeah. So I like the point where you said in our country we have a lot of fruits and vegetables. Now these days all these youngsters are exposed again to social media, and they want something which we don't have. But trust me, we have enough, with enough nutrients and enough benefits. Something like lime alone has so much of nutrients. It has you can mix it with water, use it as electrolytes, and then whatever that is locally available, cost-wise, it's very economical as well. So I would say you can identify what we locally produce, like say papaya, and then go for those. You will still get the nutrients, and if you want, you can go for blueberries or blackberries. I think strawberries also we have here, no?
We do, yeah.
So then blueberries and blackberries, they can, maybe consider later after consuming what we locally produce.
Right, so that's the fruit base of things. What about the vegetable base of things?
Vegetables, so if you're going to ask me the list of locally produced vegetables, I may not be able to give you everything. But beans, beetroot, we have this ABC concept. If you don't know anything, just follow the ABC concept. Now, what is ABC concept?
Yes.
Just eat an apple, have a beet, and then follow it up with a carrot. At least do that daily, just do that daily. You'll see a difference in about less than a week. So we just give that, ABC concept. Then all those are available, So they can just locally indulge. And of course, not to overcook the vegetables. Now we tend to overcook also, so better to balance it up with a salad and cook one, and then of course the protein, some starch, little bit of complex carbs should be fine.
That's very interesting that you mentioned that, because So in many countries out of Sri Lanka, right?
Yeah.
So they have something called medium rare meats and all of that because there's still more proteins and there's so much more that we can actually take on a raw meat base of things as opposed to the fully cooked stuff, right?
Right.
Then we have the same thing with vegetables.
Right.
The nutritions actually die the more you actually heat it and like you sort of kill it all. Is that true or is it different?
To some extent, yes.
Okay.
But I think beets and carrots and all, like when you cook them, they are much more like say edible in that
yes,
way.
yes.
It's not practical to be eating raw salads all the time. And again, you have to think about our satisfaction as well. You don't want to have raw stuff in your plate. So, like I said, it has to be practical. So, if we can only consume it with satisfaction, half cooked at least, I say go for that, followed up with a salad. Yeah.
All right, that sounds amazing. You know, honestly, because I want to know a lot more as well because it's very
Right.
interesting, right? It's about body image, it's about food, nutrition, and so much more. All of the concerns that our youth members actually have. So we'll bring more right here, only on Gen XYZ. We're joining in with Amra Fazy, who is a cosmetologist. And with that, jumping right into a short commercial break. Welcome back to Gen XYZ. Well, we're in conversation with an absolutely amazing individual. This is with regards to body image, a massive problem that we all have as youth members as well. And that is exactly why we brought a clinical expert. This is a clinical cosmetologist. This is Amra Fazy. Well, thank you so much for joining in as well. We obviously spoke about how important it is in terms of your nutrition, in terms of the things, the vegetables and the fruits that you can consume and so much more, right? So I have a big question. When it comes to, meats and fish and all of that, if we take a Korean, the East Asian people, right? They consume a lot of fish, like a lot of fish and a lot of vegetables as well that are very raw and very unique to the world.
Yeah.
They maintain their physique. They're very, very, it's not too skinny, it's not too fat, it's the perfect size, right? And they don't work out, they don't do any of that. They're just gifted genetically like that, if you put it that way. But it's also the food that they consume, right?
Yeah.
So should Sri Lankans consume fish? Should we consume a lot of fish or maybe less vegetables? Is that, how would you actually follow that through?
Well, I think you're referring to the Japanese and the Koreans.
Yes.
So let me correct you a bit because I think they have their own style of workout.
Right.
I don't know if you have seen how they get together in a group and they do all these kind of things, and even the 80, 90-year-olds, they are like as fit as a 16-year-old. And I do agree, like they just don't put on weight, just stick to the raw fish. So certain fish you can consume it raw so that its nutrients are maintained and you can get the benefits of all the nutrients in the fish. So those kind of fish, yes, you can consume. And salmon is one kind of fish, and also tuna. Yeah. So if Sri Lankans can eat raw fish and if they can afford like tuna and salmon, I don't know, like some in the Japanese kind of way, then yeah, they can do it. But eating raw meat also has pretty much, not raw meat, eating cooked meat as well has the same benefits. Like cooked fish, cooked beef, cooked chicken. You obviously can't eat raw chicken. Yeah. Also, medium rare also is almost cooked. You cannot eat raw meat and raw beef also. But fish, yes. So if Sri Lankans can eat, because when you eat it raw, then there's very less oil, you add very less flavoring to it. You only need a little bit of soy sauce and then you're done with it and you're satiated, you get all the nutrients and all that. So they can go for it if they can, but it's not actually a must. But we must learn from the Koreans and the Japanese, they are seaweed chefs, and I would say that in the Koreans and the Japanese, their secret is gut health. Whatever it's like they didn't even try. They have been looking at their ancestors, grandmothers, grandfathers. They've all just been eating foods that clears their gut, probiotics, prebiotics. So they just realize, okay, what we've been doing this thing healthy. So we are healthy, we are living till 80, 90 with no health issues, and we can still do our workouts and all that. So I think, yeah, that's the main idea behind it.
I love how you put that. It's actually like they focus on their gut health. That's very important, right?
I know it in my gut. We just say it, but we never practiced it.
We don't.
You said it, but we never practiced it.
True, true, yeah. So how do you actually maintain it though as Sri Lankans? Because we have a lot of, junk that we actually consume quite often as well. So how do you maintain that?
I must say we do have gut-friendly foods in the market. Like say yogurt, for example. However, what's the drawback? It all contains sugar. So even the yogurt, even kids, they have been consuming some gut healthy foods, but there has been some sugar in it. So I would say, the government should also consider it. Even like say those small yogurt tubs which our infants and 5-year-olds consume, it should still be without sugar. You should train them in such a way. Now see, Koreans now, for us, like when we think about the probiotic foods also, it's very less. We just stick to only that balanced meal. But what about the probiotic and prebiotics? We have to concentrate on that so that we have a clear gut and we can be as healthy as the Koreans and the Japanese.
Right. Probiotics and prebiotics, yeah? So all of these things, especially with the vitamins that we need to consume on a daily, what are the vitamins we need to consume as, to get good complexion, good body health, good gut health as well? What are those vitamins we need to consume?
Well, other than probiotics and prebiotics, that is adequate for gut health actually. So when you say vitamins, you have two choices. Either you eat a balanced meal and get all your vitamins through your food, which I like. I think that's the best way. Whole foods will give you all the vitamins you need. However, if you are deficient, now for over a period of time, you have been deficient, I have been deficient, we never checked our levels, vitamin levels, and if we are deficient, we can of course supplement it. But if you are not, I say go with eating whole foods. It will give you all the vitamins you need. For example, you can actually consume a piece of like say liver, like say chicken liver or cow liver. It has everything you need. It has everything you need because liver is where the cow has stored all the detoxifications and everything we need. So that alone is a multivitamin for you, nature's multivitamin for you. So I say make the choice of whole foods when it comes to vitamins and minerals. Unless you're deficient and then you show symptoms of deficiency like hair fall, maybe like joint pains or something like that. And then with the doctor's advice, you take the adequate vitamins for some time and then turn to whole foods. That's better.
Starch is something that we consume a lot as well as Sri Lankans. We have a lot of bread, we have a lot of rice and all of that. Should we cut that off completely? But because we want our rice, we want our bread as well because we've grown up with these meals. How do we balance that out? Because, food balance it's a huge thing, right? It's a very easy thing as well to look to. But then maintaining it, putting it into practice is the hard part.
So the way you speak, you want that starch so much.
Yes.
It's how you have been brought up. It's how now Koreans and Japanese, getting back to your point, they were not brought up like that. They came up with kimchis and seaweed, and they can't eat this amount of rice without a little bit of kimchi. Now kimchi, it does wonders for your gut health. Trust me, I had some acne on my face. Then I just had some kimchi for some time and I saw the acne just fading away. Then I realized the problem was in the gut. So again, the thing is, the way we have been brought up with pol rotis and bread, just this amount of bread with so much of butter, that's all. We never thought twice about, is this benefited, do I need this? So that just goes through your body, no nutrients are absorbed, there's nothing to absorb. So I would say don't completely cut down on it. Carb is not your enemy, but balance it off. Balance it off. Maybe a slice of bread with an egg and a little bit of butter and some salad. Now that's balancing it off. Where the carb should not dominate your meals.
You mentioned something very interesting. So you had acne and you naturally got rid of it by having kimchi. So this is obviously that's really cool though, to be honest.
Trust me.
What are the tricks and stuff that we can actually try when it comes to getting rid of acne, you know, losing weight a little faster as well? What are those little things?
Mainly acne, you know, if you have severe acne, you should consult a doctor because kimchi is not going to save you, obviously. Then, of course, it will be followed up with acne scars, then again a doctor. But even while you're consulting a doctor, make healthy choices. So a lot of problems start in the gut. So a lot of problems. That is why, because the Japanese and the Koreans are healthy because their gut is clear. So if we also can concentrate on that, I think so many skin issues and other health conditions also can be eliminated gradually. So while you do your skincare routine, while you see the respective doctor, make sure you are clean at home. When I say clean, I obviously mean hygiene as well. But internally, your body should be like fully clean with good food. Food is the main. Nutrition is 80%. Whatever you do, the rest is just 20%. That is what you should be keeping.
Okay, so you mentioned kimchi. I'm gonna bring this out of you. What are the other like tricks and like knacks that you actually give your clients as well when it comes to naturally getting rid of acne and all of these things? There are dark circles, very common in Sri Lanka. What are those things? I like the kimchi one.
Yes.
What are the other tricks?
It's nice, actually. You should try it.
Yeah.
So the thing is, honestly, up to now, I haven't mentioned kimchi to anyone. I just told about that to my sister, and she was like, what? Did you actually eat kimchi and get rid of acne? I just told only her. Other than that, there is a food list. Of course, you know who the main culprit, the top of the list is sugar. Sugar in the form of chocolates and, you know, certain nuts and those things. If you have acne, some healthy foods also can cause acne. So,
Really?
so better to either eliminate them completely or control the portions.
Control the portions.
Yeah, cheat meal.
Right. I feel like the biggest secret you just revealed to everyone.
Yes.
Kimchi is the way to go to get rid of your acne. Rather support it in getting rid of it. So something else I wanted to mention in terms of, you know, acne as well, right, which you mentioned. We as Sri Lankans, the tropical country in Sri Lanka is very, very devastating because you have so much dust, you have so much pollution. It's very warm, it's humid, and you get dark, number one, because of sunburns. And at the same time, you don't take care of your skin, right? So you get acne all over you. And then you tend to sort of like pop it as well. All of these affect you very drastically, right? How do you sort of navigate this? How do you manage that?
Yeah, the thing is, climate and the environmental condition has a major, a crucial role to play in how your skin is going to look and how you're going to feel. So obviously, like how when you take food, sugar is your enemy. When it comes to environment, sun is your enemy. There's no two ways about it, okay? You avoid it. Because when you expose your skin to direct sunlight, the harmful effects that you get may be minimized to a very small level, but you're still going to get harmed, even with sun protection, if you apply sun protection.
Okay.
So what happens is when you give sun protection, when you ask clients or someone to apply sun protection, they apply it and go to the sun and they get even darker. So that's what happens. So you avoid the sun at all costs. And then according to the environmental change, you can apply moisturizers and use the suitable cleansers. So it depends. So if you go to Nuwara Eliya, it's going to be cold. So you reapply moisturizer again, followed by sunscreen. Whereas here, you don't have to do that. Just only the sunscreen is adequate. So that is how it goes. So according to the environmental condition, this is when it comes to skin. Now this environmental condition is not going to make you slim or it has nothing to do with you being obese or chunky or losing weight. The skin, yes. You could still be healthy and have bad skin because you have exposed it to sunlight.
Yeah. I feel like that's a major problem as well, especially in the age of maybe 19, 20, because you have so much of hormonal changes happening with you, with
imbalances.
People. Exactly. And then you eventually head off to have pimples and all of that. It's very natural, right? That's the major problem as well when it comes to Sri Lanka, and I feel like that's the way to go. Having yourself, sunscreen on your face, making sure you cleanse it, making sure you take care of it. That's the most important thing, taking care of your body, inside and out.
So what's as bad as direct sun exposure? I would like to add something there, which especially the youngsters, they overlook that point. Either they overlook it or they forego it or they just completely ignore it. Do you have an idea?
No.
What's as worse as the sun
I have no idea.
Blue light. from phones and
Right.
laptops. So they look at blue light, which is almost similar to sunlight, and then it has the same effects. So you should limit that as well. So you could be not in the sun, but you're working internally, and then you're exposed to blue light, and you can have almost the similar effects of sun exposure. So I say, even if you're indoors, you think of the blue light exposure as well, and then you reapply your sunscreen.
Sure, I'm gonna like really grapple on that a little bit.
Yeah.
So you're talking about UV rays, right? The blue light, right?
That's
so that goes through your eyes because it's gonna affect your eyes for sure.
Yeah.
But how does it affect internally? Like I really don't understand. Like how does it really affect?
The skin, as in?
Yeah, skin.
Only the exposed area. Like
Right.
say, for example, if you're exposed to the sun, then to some level you have the damage, to sun damage. So this is not going to make your skin look as darker, because the melanin production is not going to be as much compared to the sun. However, in the long term, because you didn't protect your skin from because we only think about the eye, what about the skin then?
Yeah.
Then you would see some, like say maybe a wrinkling or some dryness, like a minimized effect of the sun.
Wow.
Yeah. You should give, like say, deep consideration to blue light. I say, if you're going to sleep, then you sleep. You don't we don't sleep, we go and then again we are exposed to blue light. So we find a good sleep regime, which is also very crucial to maintain a healthy body image, right? Very crucial. Nothing can replace sleep. So next to gut health, I say sleep. I can't sleep for you and you can't sleep for me. So you sleep for yourself. Plan it out. Then you should never say, I don't have time to sleep. Well, make the time to sleep and then limit your blue light as well.
Sleep. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So there is a saying,
sleeping? Yeah. Why is
this blue light disturbs your sleep?
really?
So for
Okay.
example, you go to bed at 9
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you're on blue light, and then that sort of delays your sleep. Yeah. So there is studies show that. So you can always do your research and
Wow.
And you were saying?
Sleep. Because sleep is actually very important as well when it comes to maintaining your body, maintaining good complexion, living longer as well. It's very essential and very important. We'll talk a little bit on the other side about it as well, scientifically how it's actually navigated. Right here on Gen XYZ, only on Other Than 24, we're in conversation with an absolutely brilliant individual. This is Amra Fazy. She is a clinical cosmetologist. We'll get all of the information from her right here only on Gen XYZ. Until then, jumping right into a short commercial break. Welcome back to Gen XYZ right here on Other Than 24. Well, we're in conversation with an absolutely brilliant individual. She is a cosmetologist, really knows all of the knickknacks and all of the secrets, we would call, in order to maintain a good, healthy body. Body image is a big problem for all of us as well, and that is exactly why we are bringing to you all of the information you need, scientifically as well, from a professional. Well, I have to ask you, right? Now, we mentioned something else in the previous segment with regards to sleep. How important is sleep, right? In order to maintain a good physique, especially when you want less acne, less stress, because stress contributes to, gaining weight as well, which is like a massive piece of information for me personally. So how do you maintain that? Like, how do you find the balance of, okay, this is the number of sleep I need, 6 hours of sleep on a daily, or even 8? How do you maintain that?
So I would say 6 to 8 hours should be the base. That should be our priority, We always don't prioritize that. We think, okay, it's fine, I don't have to sleep 6 to 8 hours. So let me do everything else and see if I can sleep 2 to 3 hours, which doesn't work. Then you get under eye bags, skin looks bad, again, body image gone. And how about you functioning as a normal human being? The following day, you're going to look so bad and you can't function normally and you're not productive, you're not efficient at work. So I say it all comes down to planning. So you have to plan ahead. So you have to plan in advance as to how you can, say you can't sleep 8 hours. You just cannot do that, I would say get a power nap in the afternoon. Get a power naps do great. It can do great things for you. So get a power nap, an hour or two, and make sure that the sleep that you lost is, replaced with that power nap in the afternoon. So again, it comes to planning. Plan ahead your sleeping time, eating time, what you're going to eat. So that way you have a pathway to follow. And you're doing the right thing properly. And you've got to be healthy. Your body is going to be maintaining a positive image.
Amra, I've heard this whole concept of power naps, right? I've tried it myself as well, where you just sleep for 15 minutes and then that's sufficient. You're like rejuvenized and so much more. But my thing is, it would take me at least 30 minutes to fall asleep. That's the whole thing, right? So how do you maneuver around? Because I feel like that's the problem with everyone when it comes to power naps. Unless you're a good sleeper, you can't fall asleep like instantly and then sleep for 15 minutes and wake up. So how do you find that? What's the trick there basically to fall asleep faster maybe?
Yeah, the thing is you need to switch off your mind. It's like, say, when you plan something according to that timing, you switch off, you wind up during the nap time. If you keep things going on in your mind, okay, what am I going to do after the nap? What do I have to do next? Let me just look at this last video. This video went viral, so let me just take a look at only that. Oh, I have to answer a phone. Just switch off your phone, switch off your mind, and wind down during that power nap time so that you can fall asleep easily. You can close your curtains. Obviously, sunlight is also going to disturb you. So close your curtains and wind down a bit and make yourself comfortable enough to fall asleep. So unless something is disturbing you mentally, if you properly wind down, I would say then you can properly have that power nap.
So how much time would you actually say for a power nap? Do you think 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes? What's the duration?
It can go from half an hour to 2 hours in the afternoon, depending on how much time you have. So if you can just squeeze in 2 hours, it's great. But I would say half an hour to 1 hour would give you the same benefits.
So the 15-minute nap thing, is it real or is it not real?
Well, not if you're going to put an effort to it, But you can always, like say you're working and you're in the middle of, some project or you're busy. Take some time to, close your eyes and, like rub your fingers again. That is really soothing. So those kind of things, if you can practice, then you will fall asleep, So, like say once when I went to visit China, I remember like while we were doing the tourism, our guide, she was a girl and she was like, now everyone take 2 minutes to close your eyes. Just close your eyes and just do this. I felt so much better. I almost felt like I had a power nap. So that's how you wind down those little things. If you practice, yes, that 15 minutes is going to be great for you.
Oh, that sounds amazing. That's the first thing I'm going to try now. Go back home.
The Chinese, the Asians.
Yes, yeah. I can see why they're actually so healthy.
Yeah.
Things that we need to look up to as well, people.
Yeah, just, if you just do it now, it's so soothing,
Yeah.
You just don't need anything else. Yeah, just...
Yeah.
At that time, don't think of anything else.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds amazing, actually.
Yes.
As much as all the secrets that you're actually revealing right now to all of the youth members watching in, something else I wanted to really, break down is when it comes to your bodily health, right? Females, especially males, we have a tendency to look very skinny and very thin and healthy, but we have a belly. Right? We have a big belly. Whether it be like a girl, whether it be a boy, whatever it is, we have a belly. It's also because of our gut health is not quite healthy. So people that maybe want to sort of like get rid of it on a quick basis, so how do we maintain or remove having that belly that we have? Because I feel like the girls would actually relate a lot to this as well. Have the big question, how do we get rid of the belly, the under little belly that we have?
That's right. So there are different kinds of bellies. Like someone who's not overweight can have a belly genetically or due to, their lifestyle. They have not worked out properly. Or then the girls also could have bellies, like say the young ones. And then the mothers could have the camel pouch, So different kinds of bellies have to be dealt in different ways. So I would say not to get overwhelmed with the thought of how am I going to reduce this belly, how am I going to just flatten this belly, that is also going to make you feel like say your cortisol levels are going to go up. So you might as well overall take a healthy approach. And there are workouts where you can tone your body. It's healthy, it'll build you muscle, and it will keep you like say fit. So not without considering spot reduction. What you were saying is like it's spot reduction. So without getting overwhelmed with spot reduction, go for overall healthy approach and maybe do a bit more abs you know, and make sure you're still on, you know, that healthy routine.
You mentioned something about the bodily image of a mum, right?
Yes.
Postpartum is also a major problem when it comes to regaining the way that you actually looked.
Yeah.
So what do you actually have to say with regards to this? You know, because I feel like it brings a lot of insecurities, especially, you know, young mums that want to be mums. They're very insecure that they're not going to gain their body back. So how do you gain your body back? Because if you look at celebrities, you have them having a kid this moment, the next minute, they're looking right back the way they used to look. So what is the trick there, you know?
So there's a major difference between celebrities and a sedentary, like say a lady, because say we can't do everything that a celebrity does. One thing is we don't know what the celebrity does. Maybe she starved, or maybe she went under the knife, or maybe it was just, I don't know, healthy eating style. It could be anything, or it could be all of it. So I say you should first always go back to where you were. You go back to how you were. That is the same diet pattern, the same healthy choices, get your vitamin D, morning sun, eat healthy, balance your meals. And the secret, I mean, I would say the fountain of youth for mothers to be, and mothers who already are having the camel pouch, would be weight training. Just go for it. You're not going to get bulky. No one's getting bulky here. Go for it and go back to where you started and maintain, like, you know, just indulge in that fountain of youth. Go to the gym, lift the weights, eat, and you will get back to where you started. There are plenty of good examples online which they can go for, search, and learn from them. They all talk about these things. So you can get that body which you already had, as long as you don't continue having babies, obviously, because then your skin elasticity is going to go down. I say just go for the basics. If you want to go back to where you started, then do the things what you did, and then you'll be good to go.
You'll be good to go. I love that, Matt. Like, honestly, because it's so convenient to actually, like, you know, have conversations like this as well with the professional, because we get the understanding of exactly what the scientific aspect of things are. So thank you so much for doing this. Something else I also wanted to touch base is in terms of females, right? A lot of the young youth, they're very concerned when it comes to period pains, right? I want to bring that up as well, because when you have periods, you tend to sort of have like a bloatitious tummy, and all of that sort of like causes so many very weird things. What is the best diet health that they should actually plan or sort of consume when it comes to maintaining that cycle that they have, the menstrual cycle?
Yeah, say sometimes when you have period cramps and the pain, you would not be able to be eating whatever you have been eating. So I say go light and go easy on yourself and rest up. And if there is any bloating at all, concentrate on your gut again, because when the gut is blocked only, you get all the bloatings. And there are certain foods also which can cause bloating. So you can always study about your own self. Now, some food can cause a bloating for you and not me. So identify yourself, and during that time, during your cycle, you can see, okay, this is what's going to go. And I say go light. Go light, especially avoid the carbs, go light, relax, and do whatever that makes you comfortable. That way you can reduce the bloating and the, you know, and also that is temporary. So it's a quick fix actually. Whatever the bloating is as a result of menses is not going to last long. So you don't have to worry too much about it also.
What are the ideal foods that someone that's going through a menstrual cycle right now should consume in terms of regaining their strength, regaining the vitamins that they're losing, and so forth?
So if you have, like, say, a proper, if you have the appetite, especially during the first few days, you're going to feel like really not as good as before. I say go for a good fiber breakfast, and then go for your balanced meal during lunch, and something very light for dinner. Unless you need dinner, you can just go for something that will set your body at ease, you know. Set your body at ease, and then that way you can reduce the period cramps as well. And there are certain foods, especially you can even check them online, where you can, you know, ease the pain and, you know, have a proper flow during that time. So I say you go something like pineapple would be nice. Then it will, you know, flush out everything. So those kind of things, you can just follow it, you know, just not major changes, just mild changes. Yeah.
Is pineapple good to be consumed on a daily basis? Does it have certain effects?
Of course, pineapple has like abundance of benefits, I would say. Obviously, you're not going to overdo it, but I say go for it in a smoothie, or you just eat it whole. So it has, like, say, it has the benefits of cutting fat and digestion. So if you're having gastritis, then garlic and pineapple is your best friend, ginger. So you can consume it daily and you can just see the gastritis fade away. So there are a lot of natural remedies like that. You don't have to go for the gastritis medication. Try having a little bit of pineapple juice and give yourself 10 minutes. You'll have this massive burp, which you will never get from gastritis medication. So I say go for that. Yeah.
That's very interesting there.
Yeah.
So that's on a daily basis. Even if you consume it on a daily basis,
it's fine. It's a fruit,
no effect.
and it has benefits. And especially if you have gastritis, you're going to get benefited.
Yeah.
And it has so many other benefits as well.
Right.
Yeah. It's a tropical fruit, though.
It is. Yeah.
And it's yummy.
It is. It's very sweet as well. I love that.
Very sweet.
Yeah. So that's one thing that I'm actually going to try as well, to be honest. Like on a daily basis to have a better gut health.
And gastritis issues, all are
yeah,
good.
Sri Lankans are very well known for gastritis issues, so that's a remedy as well. Yeah, but something in terms of spices that we consume as well is a big contribution to gastritis.
Yes.
We consume a lot of chili. We love our chilies, we love our pepper, we love our salt as well. We love our cumin seeds and all of these spices, which are not quite healthy for our liver. It's not quite healthy for our gut as well at the same time. So how should we like completely eradicate the consumption of chili and pepper?
You know, actually, spices are a medication. So the cumins and the dill seeds and all the other coriander, they all have medicinal properties. That is a fact. You know, actually the food that we are cooking, like most of it we are imitating the Indians and all. So it is said that doctors made the recipes. Those days they just made it and then it became yummy and then we are eating it. So they made it because it has medicinal properties. What about turmeric? It's known for it. So chili, we can eat it in moderation because it is going to give you gastritis. Other than that, I would say rest of it has its own benefits. It's all medicinal. All the spices, go for it.
Our final few words, which we've actually come in conclusion, because the time has actually gone quite fast, knowing all of these little tricks to actually maintain a good health.
Yeah.
What do you actually have to tell the youth as well now watching? How can they actually maintain and make sure that they're actually healthy on a body image basis?
Yeah. Just do not be too idealistic about what you see on social media, because not everything, in fact, sometimes all of it may not be what it's deemed to be. So I say take a practical approach, consider your health, and of course zero sugar, and make it something that you can follow on a daily basis for a long time, for a long period of time. So that way you know that you're not deviating from the healthy path. And also you can maintain a nice physique as well.
All right, that sounds amazing. Thank you so much for doing this, honestly. It's been so insightful as well.
Yes.
And we'll be bringing you more flavors just like this and more concerns that we have as well as youth members of Sri Lanka right here on Gen XYZ. Don't forget, we'll bring a different episode right here only on Other Derana 24. Don't forget, if you do miss out on an episode as well, you can catch it on youtube.com/Other Derana English. And with that, we're going to bounce right back and we'll be back with a different episode.
No trouble, I'm all about that bass, no trouble, I'm all about that bass, bass. Yeah, it's pretty clear, I ain't no size 2, but I can shake it like I'm supposed to do. Cause I got that boom boom that all the boys chasing, all the right junk in all the right places. I see